One of the things that I thought about that would be interesting to me would be Devil Fruit Awakening predictions. And then after I had that thought, I was like, can't any random person just figure out how an awakening should be? Because I figured it out, but that thought was countered with myself thinking that, yeah, we know the basics, but it could still be interesting to talk about how an awakening should be, because we know that Devil Fruit Awakenings, specifically the Paramecia class, you're basically expanding your Devil Fruit abilities to your surroundings. So if whatever power you have, awakening it grants you the ability to implement that power to a wider area. That is the core of Paramecia class awakenings. But then that brings me to the topic of this video at last. Admittedly, Law's Awakening is the only one that I'm not completely sure about. I think I know what's going on. I think I might have a good idea, but it's the only one that I'm not sure follows the rules exactly. And if Law's Devil Fruit doesn't really follow what we expect Paramecia class to be, then that opens the door for several other potential awakenings surprising us and becoming more interesting than we previously thought. Now, Law's Awakening, my assumption is that he is turning his sword into a room. That is my assumption for what Law is doing. So, and that would still follow the Paramecia rule, because the Paramecia rule, something that you wouldn't be able to effectively impact with your abilities in base form, no, you can do it in Awakening. You're expanding your power to either inanimate objects or bodies or whatever, but you're expanding your power beyond its normal range. Normally, Law, when he creates the room is big as hell. His up ability, in some ways you can say that he's already expanding it to a wider area, but no, that's not how I look at it. I look at it as he's creating a room over a large space, but when he awakens, now he can transform literal objects into a room, which would fit what Doflamingo did by turning buildings into strings, and what Katakuri did, and what Kid did by turning Big Mom into a magnet. So that would fit. But the reason why that might not necessarily be 100% accurate, why does turning your sword into a room, why does it stretch? Why does a sword stretch and expand in size? Like, that is the part that I find a little bit tricky. I'm not sure if Oda will explain that before the end of the series. Maybe he won't. But that is the part that's kind of giving me pause. Like, why is the sword becoming that big? The fact that the sword can create shockwaves and all that, that's not the part that bothers me. It's the part that it's expanding in size. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my assessment on what Law's Awakening is? Is he simply expanding the limits of his ability to where it can now directly affect things it normally couldn't in base form like every other Paramecia class, or is it something else? Or do you disagree with what I think the core mechanics behind how a Paramecia class awakenings work? Do you think that there isn't really a fixed rule for all Paramecia class? But anyway, that's it. Peace.